Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint show. Scott, Graham, Dan, the only post-match pint forward show on the internet. We have just got back from the supporters club. We didn't go to the game today because of
what happened?
Work commitments and priority form went wrong.
Yeah,
don't worry, Scott. We didn't want to go.
Wenger.
But yeah, we've just got back. It was Norwich City 2, West Ham United 2. Like the home game, really.
Yeah. Not much different, really, was it?
But as you can see, I'm joined by our regulars, Mr. West Ham Fan TV social self, Graham.
Hello, everyone.
Mr. Preview, Scott. And we are joined today by, I promise you, Cole Pilkington. We are joined, he's come all the way from behind the camera to sit here. It's Dan, the cameraman. Dan. Everyone gets a clap. Everyone gets a clap.
I know, following obviously the beautiful Stacey Little.
I thought you say Jay.
The beautiful Jay. Obviously, he's the charismatic Jay from Hammers Talk, and then we had, Dom, the people's
the fan cam man,
and obviously, I've got lots to live up to. Wait a minute, if I'm here, who's doing that then?
I ain't got a clue. Nicky.
Nicky's been relegated to cameraman.
Right, let's start off then, Scott. You know what's coming up, didn't you? You know what's coming up, didn't you? It's his part of the show. Go on, Scott. Yes, we'll
take it away. Go on.
Starting lineup. Adrian back in goal. I think the false changes at the back weren't it with the injuries that we had. Byron coming in after missing
full
out.
Debut.
Yeah.
Full debut.
Did right as well. The rest of the defence sort of picked itself because there ain't no one else fit.
I think it was a certain there was going to be Ogbonna and Collins today, wasn't it?
There was no one else there, and Creswell on the left.
Creswell. Song?
3 centre midfielders, Song, Obiang and Noble, because Kiate couldn't play due to the concussion rules imposed by the FA.
Got to be 6 days or something.
Yeah, apparently he was alright to play, but because of these new rules, they've
big loss today.
Yeah.
Big loss.
Well, I think we do miss him driving from that midfield.
Yeah.
Antonio, Pint and Valencia, which surprised me that Valencia started, to be honest.
No, I thought Valencia would start up front today. I think it's too early for either Emenike or Carroll to start up top, but I feel against Sunderland that we might, Blackburn, we might see one of them two start up front.
I think you might see Emenike against Blackburn, to be honest.
But we'll start the first 5 minutes, none of yous were there, so I'll go through that.
That's the grass is up to the fans.
In traffic. Graham was going to be there at 2:45. But no, listen, I know there's traffic, but I made it. But yeah, first 5 minutes, Norwich had a chance. First couple of minutes, it won just over. And yeah, after I'll say they was in control for about the first 5, maybe 10 minutes, but after that we took control. Yeah, we took control and we had a few chances.
You look back, I can't remember Adrian making a save in that first half.
Nah. They had chances, but all their chances went sky high. That's
either wide or high.
Yeah.
It was one of them games that sort of first half was bogged down in the midfield. Not a lot happened. There weren't really. Pint was pretty quiet, I thought, for the first half.
Pint once again started central, but drifted out wide.
Yeah, I think again we said this last week. He's got to play that free role, where he can float wherever he wants.
Yeah.
He's not, stuck to a certain position where you're relying on him to defend or anything. You just got to let him float about. Just do his thing. Just look to get the ball. And sometimes I don't think we get him on the ball enough.
No, it's a shame today because there was rumours that Sacco and Lanzini were going to be back for today, but obviously Bilic proved it with Andy Carroll. He's not going to rush anyone back. And if he thinks that they're not match fit or ready to sit on the bench, he won't put them on there.
Well, look what happened with Lanzini before, isn't it? Last time he was alright for one game, next game, bang, out again.
There's no point rushing anyone back because they had them for one game.
We've still got good enough.
But then they get another injury and they're out for another. I'd rather they miss a couple of games, when they.
You look at the bench today. We had Moses, Emenike, and Carroll on there, and then after that it was Oxford, Brown
and
Parfait Williams.
Williams, yeah. So, still, you only can make 3 subs.
Yeah.
So Carroll, Moses, and Emenike are 3 good subs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. You know, and
even Oxford. You know, I'm not, the other 2. Partford Williams, I've seen him playing under 21s, but Brown, I'm not really sure about.
No.
So,
and the thing is, it's not, you know, the only one really out of them 3 with any experience, match experience, is Oxford. You know, so and I think Oxford, the only way Oxford was coming on if we picked up an injury at the back.
Yeah.
And that would have been only to the centre halves, because if I think left or right back injured, Antonio would have slotted back there, like he did against Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, let's go through the first half then. I mean, can you remember any clear-cut chances?
I think
all I remember was Enna getting caught offside every 5 minutes.
4 or 5 times in that first half, and you get caught. I get, you know, Norwich are trying to play that offside trap, Enna's trying to play on the shoulder, but he ain't even looking across the line. You've got to be. He's got the pace to beat them.
He wasn't the only one that doing that though.
I know
Antonio done that in the second half, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, I don't. They're professionals. You got to look across
Yeah,
that line, ain't you?
I know you say that it's professionals, but it don't matter if you play Sunday League or professional. Them things happen.
Yeah, you know, it's good defending from Norwich, but
But that many times.
I know.
And if you know that they're playing and they're playing offside and they're going to push up, you can afford to sit that yard deeper because they're running in the opposite direction. You time your run right, and with players like Pint putting the balls in, and the balls he put through to Valencia when he was offside, the balls we got through to Valencia were good balls.
Yeah.
You know, and if Valencia weren't offside, it's a chance. But you know, he's just got his timing that run a bit better, and that's for me shows why Valencia isn't a forward.
Yeah,
I don't think he's got the timing in that.
So what do you make of let's pick a player out here, Obiang, first half. Give the ball away quite a lot today.
He didn't have the best game.
No.
He gave the ball away, you know, but he's there to win the ball and give the ball to someone else. You know, he's there for that, like we said before, the Makaleli type style. But then when you've got Song and Noble, you've got 3 players who are very similar. You know, there's...
Saying that though, I think Norwich, they were really quick to close us down that first half. They didn't really let us.
One thing I would say
settle on
about
the ball.
Norwich today, they looked like a team. Well, for the first 70 minutes, they looked like a team that was fighting relegation.
Yeah.
And they did play well. They played well. I mean, Gary O'Neill was obviously former player. He was putting himself about a bit. Didn't make much of an influence on the game, really.
No, but again, he just done what he had to do. He tried to break up the play, and
But Cameron Jerome, I mean, you said he's one of the worst strikers you've ever seen.
So
but
when he said that,
he's a threat, and you've got
no, that's why I said it.
Brady, Houlihan. They're good players.
That's it. You look at
Naismith. Naismith was getting stuck in a couple of times, wasn't he? And, one, he got booked, didn't he, for bringing Sam Byram down when Byram was through.
That was a cynical foul.
He was looking for it, wasn't he?
See, for me, all right, Naismith ain't the greatest of forwards, but
he's a finisher.
And he's the type of forward that we're crying
Forget, he scored that trick. He scored that trick against Chelsea for Everton this season.
You know, it's the work rate he puts in that we miss with certain strikers, with some of our strikers. You know, and that's what I said. When you look at Naismith, Shane Long, they're not prolific goal scorers, but their work rate creates chances for other people.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what we sort of miss. We haven't got that forward, apart from Saka.
Yeah, we have, but he's out injured at the moment. That's the problem.
Even Saka, though, I think he's not that completely deadly striker that you can rely on. That know is like
he's not a 20-goal a season striker.
Yeah, that's what we're missing.
He's not a 20-game a season striker. At the moment.
When is the last time we had a striker that would score us 15, 20 goals a season?
Tony Cottee.
That's what we're crying out for in that game to be highlighted, that we're a deadly striker.
We're crying out for a say like a Defoe-like striker, you know, a poacher, a goal scorer, like a Cottee.
Yeah, see the thing is with players like Defoe and all that, they won't fit into our system because Defoe he doesn't bring anything else to the game. You know, I know a striker's job is to score goals, but when you set up with that,
that's all you want from a striker.
Yeah, when you set up with that single forward, you need your forwards to do other stuff. You know, to bring other players. Defoe's not really like that.
Yeah, but to be fair to Defoe, he's a player that will play off the shoulder and make them runs.
Mate, I've said it for a long time. For us, if we had got Defoe back with Carroll, when fit, even with someone
I don't think we're stating that we want Defoe back, but we want a player like Defoe. I mean, Defoe 2 years ago, not now.
It's too late for that.
I mean, it's like when we played him up there, he missed chances against us that he would have buried, like I say.
Yeah. Listen, he's scored more goals than Rooney this season.
Yeah,
he's been doing well for a poor Sunderland team. So
and apparently Rooney's the best English striker in the world. So worrying, isn't it?
Don't knock Rooney, please.
I know I like Rooney. I do like Rooney, but.
I mean, can you think of any other clear-cut chances in that first half? I mean, Norwich had a couple, and like we said, they hit them over.
They had a couple of half chances, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, we I can't really remember.
Naismith. No, that was the second half. Naismith's chance, wasn't it?
Didn't we have? We had a really good chance with. There was a Payet cross, isn't it? That no one quite got on the end of.
Yeah, we had a few. He put a few balls in that we just couldn't. We just missed, and we couldn't get there.
And Tony, I think, was just a step off getting a header in the back of the net. I think it was.
That's what I said. I think some of the balls we played in that first half, we were crying out for a poacher.
Yeah,
I think it was more about us keeping on side for that first half, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was the more thing. I think we got blown more for offside than any other game I've seen us playing.
Yeah,
it is frustrating not watching it.
But the thing is with Enna is sometimes one does come off.
That's it.
That's the thing. Like playing on the shoulder, you do get one decision. But once again, I thought the referee and linesman were poor today. Again, the referee. I mean, there was a few incidents in the second half that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But the referee was poor again, and it's another refereeing display that's a shambles. The other night, Roger East was a shambles.
And Liverpool fans,
he was.
Oh, mate,
they were moaning, but that he was biased to us.
Nah.
I think when you look back, right, the one thing Klopp was moaning about was when Payet stopped the ball. You know, it looked like the ball had gone out, but he didn't. He stopped the ball from going out with his hand before to pick up and take the throw, and that's what the Liverpool fans screamed about. Fuck that! We should have had 3 penalties before that. I think but it's refereeing as a whole. It's awful.
Yeah, the whole season.
But it's been like it for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, it's getting worse.
And I feel for the managers because the managers can't say anything. You can't.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Because you've got the Referees Association, yeah. It's basically a closed shop. They won't. They defend their referees to the hilt. They will not criticise a referee. No. They might go, we'll suspend him from Premier League games for a couple of weeks. He'll go and ref in the Championship, but then a couple of weeks later he's back in. The managers can't criticise the referees. The clubs can't. You know, like if you're the chairman and that, because then the club get in trouble. Yeah. And it's just there's no accountability.
The thing is, for the
referees.
Well said, Graham.
If a referee makes a mistake, a manager should be allowed to turn around and say, I thought the referee made mistakes.
Yeah. Players and managers should be allowed to say whatever anyway.
Yeah.
You know, they should be allowed. It's freedom of speech. Like us, we sit on here, we're allowed to say what we want. Yeah. Players and managers should be allowed, but unfortunately they're not. But
can you imagine, though, managers like Arsene Wenger who make excuses all day long would be like, yeah, we lost the ref, it was the ref, that decision. He would be, talking about the ref all day long.
The thing is, you've got managers that you could understand. You know, Arsene Wenger, he never sees anything unless it's on an Arsenal player.
Listen, I do sort of, with referees, I do have a bit of compassion from, because like they're going to upset one set of fans and one team either way, whatever they do.
It's a hard job to be a referee.
Of course it is, and that's why I think it would be good in the future if ex-pros were to become referees, because they understand the game.
Yeah.
You know, but they won't do it because they know it's a hard job. But listen,
we're not moaning about like saying refs should be punished, but there should be a process whereby if you think a ref's had a poor game, that you can speak to the referees association.
I think you've only ever seen one ref come out after a game and say,
when that Paul Durkin,
I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you've got to respect him for coming out and saying it.
If they went, what was the game? Villa at home, when it showed the replay on the screen.
Yeah, and they cut it.
Yeah. If the referee would have turned around and see that and thought, right, that is a corner, give a corner, that would have made a big statement.
When that Antonio's goal, he looked slightly offside.
No, it was the corner, wasn't it? When the goalkeeper saved it from Thingy's shot.
I'm sure there was an offside as well, because they went to show it on the screen and you see the ball come in and you see he was, might have, I don't think he was, I think it was Chiati who was offside.
But then even if it was and the referee turned around and see that, I'd have so much respect for the referee. As much as I'd be pissed off that he took a goal away from us, I'd have more respect for that referee that he's actually looked at that screen. And this is where it comes into video replay.
Yeah.
It takes 2 seconds 2 seconds to look at a screen.
Quick.
I just think that the main problem is you can't even speak to the referees.
No. It's only like captains that are allowed to go up to
But
them now.
to be fair, I think that's right.
I'm talking about after the game. The manager can't go and knock on the referee's door.
It's a shame we don't get. It's a shame that we don't get more referees come on camera after the
Yeah, I
game
think they
and
should.
give their faults and
I mean, I've
admit
seen
if they made a mistake. Because I think we respect the referees a lot more if they done that.
Cool, the thing is, they drag the players. You know, like your team's just lost last minute. You know, and you're gutted, but your obligation is, you know, I think it's a contract. They have to do interviews after the games, or someone from the.
Unless
you
you're
know,
Sir Alex,
yeah,
don't have to.
And so you know, you say you've lost a last minute goal and you're down and dejected anyway, and then now you've got to be dragged out in front of a camera and give your thoughts on the game when maybe the passion's still running a little bit high. Like
It is hard though, Gray, to
maybe
sit
do
in
the
front
same
of
for
it is hard to sit in front of a camera, Gray, and give your thoughts. And but listen. Do you like that?
Sorry, it was annoying me.
An OCD, Jesus. We've got OCD on the.
It weren't quite straight.
But yeah, I mean, would you say that looking at the first half, there's some finished the first half now.
Yeah.
Would you say that the 120 minutes the other night had a bit of effect on the players?
Yeah, I'd say Norwich looks a lot.
I think the 120 minutes on the other night, the injuries, the squad's being so small that we couldn't, you know, going back to that bench. M&EK probably not fit enough to start. Carroll not fit enough to start. You know, you're limited to
The
your
difference,
options.
I know what you're saying with the injuries, but the difference is this year we've still got quality. When we used to get injuries, we'd look at and you'd have like an overweight Joe Cole on the bench. You'd have a Joey
Taylor.
O'Brien, a Matt Taylor, a Jarvis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you're looking at Andy Carroll, Moses,
Yeah.
M&EK. When Yelovich, you got Yelovich to come back.
Where is Yelovich?
I don't know.
Is he in
I think
China?
I think he had a Costco card. He's gone Costco's to get some discounts. I don't know where he is,
I don't
but
know, I'll have to have a look.
Have you seen Yelovich?
yeah.
Let us know.
Comment below if you've seen Yelovich. Oh, I'd love people to send selfies in with Yelovich.
Imagine if it was like that Costco.
Could you imagine that in Yates's or something?
As long as he ain't gone to Harvey Nichols, like Brady Choi did all them years ago. But look, let's go into the second half now. We come out second half, same really as the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Antonio.
Yeah.
He didn't have the greatest of games today. I didn't really notice him in the first half.
He was poor.
I mean, we should have talked about him. Before we go on, got any more from the first half?
No.
Any more from the first half?
No.
Any more from the first half? Because we're in the second half
Get me
now.
halfway through the second
We don't
half.
want to
Hang on, go back. We're in the second half. Right, we're in the second half. Yeah, Antonio.
Yeah.
Poor game I've seen. Listen, I know he can't play. He played did he play the whole game the other
Whole
night?
game,
Whole game, yeah. So he's been good over the last few weeks. So I'm not going to knock him.
No, everyone has a bad game.
Yeah,
Now and
but
again.
he had a real bad game today, in my opinion. And for that first goal, listen, I'm not taking nothing away from that finish from Brady. That was
It was a
a world class finish.
It was a
Yep,
great
it was
finish.
good
But
finish.
Antonio there, for one, as soon as that ball comes into him, he's looking at Collins. He should have knocked it back to Collins. He got knocked off the ball. He's a big bloke.
No, he's touch let him.
He's touched let him
was
down.
awful.
Plus,
Then he got
Brady has
knocked off.
barged him off the ball.
Yep.
And listen, it was a great finish. Great
It
finish
was
from
great
Brady.
It's like I said to you in the club. That doesn't happen if Song's on the pitch.
No.
Song's in that position to take that ball off and over. I thought, you know, all right, with the substitutions that were made with, you know, Moses coming on, Carroll coming on, it worked well. But I thought it was Obiang who should have gone off for Moses, not Song.
I think Song or Obiang would have gone off. I would have been like, yeah, they should have gone off.
But I think it should have been Obiang. I thought Obiang had the weaker game out of the two.
Thing is with Song, you know, if he's on the pitch, he can create a chance.
Exactly.
That's the difference
And he
with
doesn't
him
get
and
knocked
Obiang.
off the ball that easily.
Nah, but
And when he does, he normally wins the
Antonio,
foul.
and I think when everyone see the game today, Antonio's performance, I think once that it knocked his confidence, didn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
And
He
then
was
we
finished
sat there and said, you can't do that in the Premiership.
No.
If you sang Atmans, you've got to dust yourself down and carry on. You can't let things like that on your mind.
Yeah.
Got in his head.
Yeah.
And the thing was, you see that we concede that goal. Not long after we do the restart, we go back up the other end, and Antonio has a chance and that's it. His confidence again. You know, his touch let him down. I think he didn't really take a touch, did he?
No, come off the defender. Like when he sort of went to cut back across, he actually come off the defender and rolled into his path, and then he scuffed his shot a little bit. But
and again, that's you know, you go back to Antonio last week, or even against Liverpool, the performance he put in now, that's a chance, if not a goal. But
exhaustion as well, I think it's definitely because you look at the Liverpool game, right? What sort of game he plays, he runs up and down and that, and then plus he switched to right back, didn't he? He had to switch to right back out of position, and then he's playing his game right up and down.
I mean, I'm not knocking Antonio.
No, exactly.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, like we said before, I mean, people go, oh, they're pros, they shouldn't be tired. Listen, they're playing football at the end of the day. They played 120 minutes
that was
on Tuesday,
a hard 120
and then they got an away game on a Saturday. It was a tough game the other night. You know, it went right to the death, literally. Like,
and the thing is, like we said before, teams that are down there fighting for survival, it ain't an easy game.
Of course it ain't. Of course it ain't. We know it. We know it. I mean,
the team down the bottom,
and I'll pick 2 games out now. From this season, Watford away and Newcastle away. We was poor. We was absolutely poor in them games. We went 2-0 down to Newcastle, didn't come back. Watford, 2-0 down, didn't come back. Not today. But no, but listen, that could have easily gone on to be. I mean, we ain't talked about the second goal yet, but everyone knows we did get a second goal. That could have been 3 or 4. The old West Ham.
Could have crumped like folded.
But the second goal didn't come that long after.
What was it?
And it was a shot from, I can't remember who shot it on the edge of the box. Was it Naismith? Naismith shot it on the edge of the box. Collins blocked it, and it's dropped straight to Houlihan. And listen, it's another great finish. Adrian could have done nothing about it.
No,
was he offside?
Did you think? I
think you said he was offside.
I thought it was offside.
I thought it was marginally offside.
I thought
that's my bias, Claire.
No, but the thing is, with that offside, is there the sort of offsides that was given against us with Valencia? You know, those ones that were just a touch out. You know, the ref was spot on when
I think what swayed the ref and the linesman was that he'd come off of Collins.
But it doesn't matter.
And then Houlihan's made that run. And plus you've got players in front of him, so the referee and the linesman might not have had a good view.
When the ball's,
I know what you're going to say.
Ball's played, and as much as it took the deflection, the shot was hit, the ball's played.
Carry on. I know what you're going to say.
I thought you were going to be looking at the FA Cup.
Do you know what? I think it was similar to. Remember the one we had disallowed at Old Trafford that Nolan had disallowed? Was it last season? Or
he was onside.
But the Nolan one was sort of coming across, and they was in a line. With this one, Collins has blocked it on the edge. It's took a deflection up. You got Ogbonna there. Listen, if it was offside or it weren't, at the end of the day, he's finished it, and our players.
It was a good finish.
It was a good finish.
Yeah, both goals were good finishes. They took on well.
Yeah, and he's a good player, Houlihan. He is a good player, and
I think so. I think he's a very good player.
He had a few chances in the first half as well, but he's finished that one off. And then we're 2-0 down, and I'm thinking to myself, how are we 2-0 down? How are we 2-0 down in this game? This is the West Ham way. No one wins in 6. We turn up.
And they score 2 goals.
They score 2 goals. They're going to win the game. And I think to myself,
the thing is,
when you're looking at that game, you go 2-0 down, and you just don't see a way back in it, because we didn't really
not the way we were playing. Not the way we were playing.
I couldn't see us winning the way we were playing. I thought, I can't see it's happening now.
That's when you got to look at your big players like Pint, Noble. You got to look at them to drag you back.
You know, you look at the substitutions. He took Song off, brought Moses on. You know, and then
Carroll on. Right decisions.
Antonio come off for Carroll.
Valencia
come off for Carroll.
Valencia was injured anyway, wasn't he?
And I think Valencia was.
He didn't want to come off though, did he, Valencia?
No.
But I think that's the dumb thing. I think that was pre-planned beforehand to give Carroll around half hour run.
I mean, bringing Carroll on was the right decision. You can just, because I think it was Trevor Sinclair come out today and said that Sam Allardyce plan A was to pump it forward. That's Bilic's plan B. You know, so, and sometimes you have to revert to that. And when you've got someone like Carroll to come on.
But
that should be a plan B.
But that's
definitely.
difference between between Allardyce and Bilic. Allardyce had plan A, and then had plan A, and then had
He didn't
plan
have
A.
a plan B, yeah.
You know,
No.
Bilic has plan A, and then he has plan B,
And he's
then
probably
he has
got a plan C and a D and an E as well.
exactly.
That's the difference.
Yeah, and that's the difference. And it's good. It's good to see that we've got that right. This ain't working. Chuck the big fella on. Let's go a bit more direct. Let's go a bit longer. And the thing is, I think you'll see that when Sacco's back and things like that. It won't be so like let's go direct to the big man. You know, if Valencia's starting, we bring Sacco on. Right, let's knock it into the channels. You know, let's give Sacco something to run onto. This, you know, because under Allardyce, Sacco and Valencia, their partnership worked so well when we were knocking the balls into the channel. And to be fair, we ain't had them both fit at the same time.
No.
But that's what I love about Bilic, right? Is we're losing, we're 2-0 down. He's going to go right, and he makes the subs, and we're going to go all out attacking. We're going to bring on these attacking players, and we're just going to go for it. Because why not? If we concede another 2 goals, we've still lost. Or we can come.
The
back.
thing is, he brought them on around the 60th minute.
Yeah,
You got 30 minutes. You know you're going to get chances.
Of course you are. Of course
You know you're going to, and you still got M&EK to come on as well.
Yeah.
But
and that is the thing. You're 2-0 down, you're losing the game anyway, so go for it. If you go for it and get beat 4-0, you get beat 4-0.
Still losing at the end of the day.
Right, so then we got back into the game. Moses, fair play to him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
had.
Run down the wing, in the box, went down, got straight back up. Didn't throw his arms about looking for a penalty.
No.
And then thank God,
The main man
the
was
main
there.
man, Dimmy Payet, was at the back post. And we both said it, that's a great finish. Seeming that you had 2 defenders running and sliding in and a goalkeeper.
Yeah. And he hit it
And he's
on
hit
the
it
slide.
on the side, the right height, middle of the goal. Great finish.
Yeah.
Great finish.
You know, any other person, you could not see him putting that in the back of the net.
Another person would have took a touch.
Or another person would have smashed that wide.
Yeah, or took a touch, tried to turn it back in, but no, it was a great finish, and it put us back in the game. And in a game that I thought we lost, I thought we was going to go and lose that game.
I honestly, even though the way we've been playing the season we've had, I didn't see any way back.
No.
We just didn't look like we
Yeah,
had the steam, the energy to galvanise.
I thought the other night, I know we said that the FA Cup for me is important this season, but I don't want it to sort of ruin our league form. And we lost against Southampton, so today was a big game.
Of course it was.
We avoided back-to-back losses.
Yeah.
The thing for me is the FA
You've
Cup.
ruined the end of the show now.
the FA Cup is important.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
One.
You don't want your league form to slip.
No, you want
No, but not only that, but one lapse of concentration, one mistake, the FA Cup's gone. Yeah, and you don't want to be in a situation where you've let your league form dip to concentrate on the FA Cup, and then the FA Cup.
Yeah,
goes.
not only that, you don't want to go. You don't want to go into the FA Cup
on the back
of a loss.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, Dimmy's got the goal.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I don't know whether the referee, whoever was commentating, was bang out of order because Moses wasn't diving.
No.
Yeah, he turned around and says Moses has dived to try and win a penalty.
Do you know how I know Moses didn't dive? Because he got straight back up.
Exactly.
He had the ball at his feet, he got straight back up. He's probably slipped, or the defender might have touched him and knocked him off balance. But he
didn't do any of that either, did he?
If he had been in a Chelsea shirt, he would have flung his arms.
Now, this goes back to one thing, right? Either the referee got the advantage spot on, or he missed it, because it was a penalty. There was no contact with the ball from the defender. The defender tripped Moses. Yeah. Moses got straight back up and carried on.
I think that's what Moses getting straight back up. The referees thought he slipped because he hasn't flung his arms in the air. And fair play to Moses. A lot of players, not only West Ham players, a lot of any player in the Premier League. There's a lot of players that would have flung their arms around, slapped the floor, and that would have been a goal kick, and we would have been back in the game. But Payet, great finish.
I mean, it's good work down the right as well in the build-up.
And then literally took kick off. Couple minutes later. My man, what a finish.
Mr. Noble.
What a finish.
Didn't we have a corner? No, we had a throw-in, didn't it?
I don't care. Don't worry about it. Let's talk about Noble. I mean,
that's been a coming.
Payet done well on that goal. To pick him out on the edge of the box.
When you look that back, I don't even think Payet really looks up. You know, he knows where he is.
He knows where Noble. They must practice that in training. Noble edge of the box.
the forwards have run to the front. One's gone to front, one's gone centre, and it just opened that gap.
Yeah.
And then straight in. And to be fair, the corner the other week, and he had another chance.
And I was just about to say that's been coming from Noble because he had that chance against Villa. The other night he had one on the edge of the box.
That's what I just said.
He had one on the edge of the box. But today he's hit that top corner sweep, and I'm so pleased for him. Because I'm hoping now that will shut a few of the Noble haters up. I cannot stand why people are on his back all the time.
I had an argument on Twitter
on Tuesday, wasn't it?
We had it the other night. Payet made a mistake. No one behind us said nothing. Noble give the ball away, and people were going, fuck him, Noble, fuck him, Noble.
Well, he had the ball. He had two players behind him. He could only go backwards. And he's laid it back, and I was like, go forward.
Every time.
Listen, we've said this before on this show, and we've all played football, and you grow up, you play the way you're facing, and that's what Antonio should have done today for their first goal, but he didn't. No. But no one, people will probably let Antonio off because he's playing well.
The thing is, as well, I guarantee you, there's people today criticising Noble for playing that pass to Antonio.
Oh yeah, of course there is. Listen, Noble's got his haters, but listen, which is not from me. He never ever. I'll never hate that boy. Never hate that boy.
Again, I think he's in that situation now where if you don't get an England call up, he's never going to get one.
Listen, I'm not even worried about it. For Mark Noble,
but he does deserve it.
Yeah, of course he does.
He doesn't need it to define his career.
No, of course not.
We've said this many a times on this show. Noble has come through a period when you've had Gerrard, Lampard, and then you've got the next generation, Delph. And all that. No, listen, I know, but
Delph,
Roy Hodgson will pick them.
No, there's no way Fabian Delph is a better player than Mark Noble.
I know he ain't.
I know he ain't. You know my feelings about Noble. I like Noble, but I think there's better player. Yeah, that's it. But there's better. But Fabian Delph is one player that should be nowhere near that England team.
Of course. Listen, there's a lot of players that shouldn't be. James Milner shouldn't be near that England team.
James Milner, what does he?
Listen, who's that Man United player? What's his name? Lingard gets a call up. What? Because he does his laces up on the Old Trafford pitch. This is why England will never ever progress under someone like Roy Hodgson, because he's an old owl, and
the one for me is Mason for Tottenham.
Yeah, Mason.
Didn't even play a game. England get an injury, and he gets called up to the squad.
But that's just it. But listen, for me, club over country all day long. Mark Noble is West Ham through and through. He cares more about. Listen, if you said to Noble now, hand on heart, win the FA Cup with England, win the FA Cup with West Ham or the Euros with England, he'd have FA Cup over all day long. All day long. And he wants to play for England. I think he should play for England. He should have had a chance for England because he was a great captain for the under-21s. Took us to, was it 2 European finals or 1?
Yep.
2, wasn't it? 2.
Yep.
Listen, if you make a certain amount of appearances for the under-21s, the under-21s don't even exist now.
Hang on, what you mean, like James Milner?
Yeah, but
plays nearly every game for the under-21s and gets straight in.
Listen, the team. I'm not knocking James Milner, but that's right. He should be given a chance.
Yeah.
He should be given a chance. If you play that many times for the under-21s, you should be allowed a chance to go and play for the full international.
What's the point of having the setup of the England under-21s?
There's no under-21s anymore, is there? You don't really hear of under-21 football now.
There is, but it's a case of
but you don't hear about it.
Because there's so many. The better players that of the under-21 level
are in the first team squad. Yeah, so there's no under-21s. No. You go back to England when with Rio, Lamps, Carrick, Defoe, they all played in the under-21s for a long period and then they stepped up. Nowadays you turn up, you sit on the bench, you're in the England squad.
After the England squad does sit on the bench.
I mean, look at 2 teams that won the World Cup recently, Spain and Germany. Their national teams, like their first teams, they all went through the under-17s together, the under-19s, the under-21s. They went through all the age groups together, so by the time they get to the first, like the national side, they're a well-oiled unit.
Don't get me wrong. Some teams, some players, when they're at that level, are really good, and they never go on to progress. That's fine. But you look back at the under-21 tournament when we got beat by, I think it was Germany in the final. The Spanish team that we stopped, the players that Spanish team had, some of them went on to win the World Cup.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting carried away.
Yeah.
This is an England.
Always England. Always
show.
England.
Because England's another passionate thing as well. Because we're all English and we love our country. But listen, this is West Ham today. Noble equalises.
Great finish.
Great finish. Great finish.
Away from the
Top
keeper.
corner. You know, and we're all listen. I think 90% of the fans are pleased for Noble. You know, I'll be very surprised if there's people slagging him off tonight, but there will be.
Yeah.
And the thing is, leading up to that goal was good work down the right from Emenike.
Yeah.
You know, we come on for. Who did he come on for?
Antonio.
Which I think was the right decision.
Yeah,
We were sort of saying,
that.
we were saying that he should have gone off before.
Yeah. But listen, we equalised. There's what? How many? 20 minutes to go? 15 minutes to go? There's a winner in us.
Yeah.
And we had so many chances to get our winner. Emenike had a couple, and Jesus Christ.
There was. You had the chance.
Talk me through it, Scott, please.
You had the chance. What we put in, the ball was put in from the left, and somehow he lunged forward and sort of just chipped it in the air.
He had two chances to hit it.
Carroll
flicked it on, didn't it?
Carroll flicked it on. Carroll, to be fair, Carroll when he come on, I thought done really well.
Yeah, Carroll won the headers and
Emenike was there.
yeah. Do you think it's obviously just rustiness, isn't it? It's not match fit.
But then the second chance that he could have had, the ball goes into the box again from the left, and he don't attack it. And it's in the 6-yard box. The keeper can't come. The defenders can't get it.
No.
And he don't attack it. And Carroll don't attack it.
But that would have
Throw
been.
yourself at the fucking.
Carroll's always too far back for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whenever a ball's coming in.
But that's Carroll. Carroll
will play that sort of number 10 role, wouldn't he?
You
Looking
think
for
for
the
the ball
flick
coming in
ons.
for the left. He's looking for that ball to come on the outswing.
Yeah, and he looks, and possibly he's always trying to do a little run onto the ball, but sometimes he's not quick enough.
I mean, that's the thing with this game. 1 minute we're 2-0 down, thinking we ain't getting nothing from this, and now we're sitting here thinking we could have won that 3-4-2.
We could have easily won that.
What did you make of Emenike? I know we're saying, he had the two.
Yeah,
I
mean, he looks strong. He looks like he's gonna.
Really?
Nearly on the door.
I mean, fucking right when we fucking retro club.
Luckily, there ain't enough left.
Yeah, well, you're an alcoholic. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's been much publicised, isn't it? About
he had 8 pints before he come here, in the toilet.
Special brew.
Double barrel. But yeah, Emenike.
Yeah, I thought he'd done well.
He's strong.
He's done well.
He's strong. He looks like he's going to score it. I reckon he'll score a few goals, maybe 5, mate.
I want to see him get a start.
Yeah, I think we might see him start at Blackburn.
Judge him over 90 minutes. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I mean he's made two brief sub appearances. You know, you can't judge him.
But listen, this sub appearance was, he showed a lot of positive.
When we was 2-0 down in that game, we would have give our left ball for a point. Yeah. I'd give both for free, but listen, I'm happy with a point. When you're 2-0 down away at a struggling club and you come back and you nick a point, well, we ain't, sorry, that's wrong. We haven't nicked a point, we've earned a point, and we could have had 3. But, you know, it's
the game overall had draw written all over it, didn't it? The way
but we could have, and I think Norwich will say that as well. We could have, but then again they had chances. So I think a draw. Yeah,
I think overall we had better chances.
Yeah, they had a corner literally right at the end, and it was cleared, not off the line, but in the 6-yard box.
It weren't far off the line.
I think it was
2 yards off the line.
But that,
get a tape measure out on Match of the Day tonight.
Again, that's where. That's where our luck's changed, I think, as well.
Yeah, one thing we didn't mention in the first half, no, joking. Ogbonna in that second half, when they went through, it was 2-on-1. Great tackle from him.
Timed it.
I thought he played well today. Yeah. I thought Ogbonna played well, but I thought he's played well all season. He hasn't let the team down, has he?
I think only when you look back, probably the Leicester game, he was quite poor, but I think Leicester shutting the ball down quick, and he was still adjusting to the English game.
Yeah, Pint got man of the match today. Would you agree with that?
I would say it, because when you look at players that have stood out, because I thought Payet in the first half created a lot of chances, and the second half, think about it, he scored a goal, a brilliant goal, and he got an assist.
Yeah. So
and he created
Payet man of the match.
I think when the guy that gives the man the matches, he said when you got to look at the man of the match, it's the player with that bit of quality stood out.
So Payet man of the match. Worst player of the match, Antonio.
Yeah.
Just for keep getting caught offside.
Listen, I'm not knocking Antonio though.
I don't know.
No, he's had
think-
you know.
That first goal.
To be honest,
Mayor
worst
of the
player
match.
for me was Valencia. I thought he was poor.
Right. But anyway,
Well,
it's
you can't
a point,
criticise
innit? It's a
Antonio.
point at the end of the
Yeah.
day. It's a point on the road against a tough team that haven't won for 6. Usually we'd have lost that 2 or 3-0, but we've come back, and now we swiftly move on to Blackburn.
One thing about that game, right, is where we come from 2-0 down to get a draw. I think that sums up the Bilic factor, right?
Yeah.
Because when you look, this goes all the way back to the summer, right? When you had, again, the game against Norwich 2-2, you had the Bournemouth game, when we was coming back, we lost that, and the Leicester game, we were losing, we come back to get, we're a team, this
It's
season.
fighting the team.
We don't know when we're beat.
Yeah, well,
And
apart from Spurs away.
apart from Spurs away.
To be honest, when you look at it, Spurs away and Watford away were the
And
only
Newcastle
times.
away.
I don't know, because we still had chances in that
Yeah.
game to get back in.
Yeah, I mean, we got back to 2-1, didn't we? I think I
But
said 2-0 earlier. I forgot about our goal.
Watford and Tottenham, we weren't there at all.
Nah.
You know.
Nah.
But then we.
And let's be honest, we all said it after the first 20 minutes of this game, we thought one of our players were going to get sent off today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen,
And Byron didn't get booked.
First start.
double barrel.
He's
First
close.
start.
I thought
for Byron.
he had a.
Yeah, no, he played well.
He done
But,
all right.
right, let's move on then from the game. We've got a couple of other things to talk about, but we're happy with a point.
Yeah.
Happy with a point, especially being 2-0 down. So
Yeah, you got.
Yeah, unfortunately we're down to 7th.
yeah, but it's only on goal
Yeah,
difference,
yeah,
isn't
goal
it? I mean, we've got Sunderland next in the league, so but they've found a bit of form lately. Draw at Anfield, beating United today. Big Sam coming back,
Big Sam isn't really an away manager, is
but
he?
he's coming back to West Ham. He's got a point to prove,
Yeah, he has
so it's
got
going to
a
be a tough game. But
Has he got a point to prove?
we've got Blackburn before that. We will talk about Blackburn in a minute. Like,
That, for me now, that is a massive game.
Yeah.
yeah, it's priority. For me, it's priority. The FA Cup this year, we can go on to win that, and we've got 7,200 of us going down there. Me, you, and Nicky will be going down there.
Up there.
Up there, yeah. We're going up there, and it's going to be good. 2 o'clock kick-off on a Sunday.
Live on TV.
7,200, West Ham up there.
I think that's.
44 Blackburn fans.
I must admit that shows a lot, you know, for the club, and for the supporters to sell out the 7,500. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to get many other sides that will take 7,500.
No, it's a good thing as well. It's a scorer ticket. You know, they haven't tried, it's like 30, 40 quid a ticket.
No.
It's 20 quid a ticket. You can't moan, can you?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Early afternoon kick-off. Happy days. I think we can progress.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a tough game, mate.
Yeah, of course it will. We've got a week to rest now. Got a week to rest. Well, over a week to rest.
Players to come
So-
back.
You've got a week to rest.
Lanzini might
Lanzini,
feature, Sacco might
Sacco.
feature. They might even be on the bench, and if they're on the bench, that's a big boost itself. Because if we do go 1-0 down, then you've got them to come on. But I think we're going to comfortably get through this game. I think a 2-0 victory and a comfortable 2-0 victory as well. It should be more.
Yeah,
Should be 3 or 4.
It's not going to be easy.
No, of course it ain't. You're playing
It's the
against a
FA
championship team.
They're gonna be up for it.
But they're more constant. Where are they in the league? In the championship?
They're on a poor run of form.
yeah,
I mean,
they're
they've
on a poor
lost
run of
6
form.
games in a row, 7 games in a row
They've just sold their
the
best
league.
player.
in the league.
Just sold their best player. But at the end of the day, league form goes out when it's the cup.
course
So
it does.
but
Doesn't matter.
It's
our
Jordan
league,
Rhodes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Peterborough the other night against West Brom, took them all the way.
yeah.
You know, it's-
But let's just hope we don't have to bring them back to the bowling. As much as we want another nighttime game at the bowling, I'd rather get it done on Sunday.
Nah. Yeah.
To be fair, from looking at the point of view of the players and things like that, I want the job done Sunday. I don't.
Oh,
want
yeah,
I don't want to
course,
read as much as I like it. You know,
Another
another
night
FA
game,
Cup
yeah.
game, night
Yeah,
game
yeah,
at the boat. But no, we need. To
But
get it
listen,
done
we
and
get through
dusted.
that. We're in the quarterfinals. We're going to meet a big team. We're going to meet a big team in that quarterfinals. And you're one game away from Wembley.
We're going to play Reading or West Brom, you mean?
Yeah, but listen, it don't matter who we play. We're one game away from Wembley.
Exactly.
And then it's a day out. If we get there, it's a day out for the fans at Wembley, which we all agree ain't right. But it still is a game at Wembley, and we get to do fan cams at Wembley. But let's get through
Let's hope.
Blackburn
Let's
first.
hope we're going to do things.
I've got a question, right?
Yep.
At what point if not now, do we consider this as a good cup run? Because we all would plead it out. Like, all I want is a good cup run.
It is a good cup run.
So if we went out against Blackburn, we could say
no. I'd be disappointed.
We'd be disappointed, but could we say we had a good cup run?
No, because I think when you get to the quarters or semis, that's a good cup run.
When you look back, right, where do we FA Cup last year? We went out in the 4th round. That was poor. Where do we get in the League Cup? 5th round. League Cup, we went out in the first, or the first round we were involved in. The season before was the biggest disappointment. It was getting stuffed by Norwich. Was that 2 seasons ago? And then getting turned over twice by Man City. You know, in the semi-final.
The aggregate thing was that was 9-0,
you know, and still getting semi-final was a good.
But
I
mean, we've still got to get through Blackburn. I mean, we're all dreaming of Wembley, and listen, don't blame us.
Their fans will be.
But like I said the other night on Fan Cam, like I just think there's something written in the stars this year for West Ham, and something special was going to happen. And remember, post-match pint months ago, I said about my dream.
Yeah.
Bus parade, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just got something about this season. And the FA Cup. Yeah, I have.
You're the same about me. I ain't really superstitious, but I'm looking at something as well. So
yeah, and it just seems like it's all like, I mean, we could go out 3-0 to Blackburn, and we'll be sitting there doing post-match play, go fucking dreams. No, but listen, so we're looking forward to Blackburn. Post-match pint will be on the Monday.
Yeah, it'll be Monday.
By the time we get back on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to see Graham grumpy, do you?
No.
And plus it's Nicky's return, so we want to give him a big spectacle. Let's carry him on like a lad.
The return of Nicky.
The return of Nicky, yeah. So
do we have to carry him on?
Well,
might do my backing.
No, don't mug him off because he's been in Florida.
I ain't mugging him off.
Watch out.
I'm being honest.
Get your words in.
Get him while you can. What you got to say, bro?
Well,
double barrel. No, but look, anything else you want to talk about? Jack Collinson officially retired. I thought he retired 2 years ago.
I feel for the guy, you know, being.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's like another Dean Ashton, isn't it? His career's been cut short. Yeah. He was in the first team at West Ham when he was 18, 19, and I remember that Zola season. And that was the best I've seen him play.
To be fair, he was some good. When you looked at it, he was going places.
He was playing for Wales regularly. He was in the West Ham first team. I mean, memories of Collinson is obviously the Millwall home game. I think it was 2 or 3 days after his dad passed away, and for him to play, and I'll never forget that game because I remember him in tears after.
Didn't he? Dad die on the way down.
That was the Tottenham game. It was a Tottenham game. We beat Tottenham on the Saturday, and then I think we played Millwall on the Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, that was in the cup.
Yeah, and I remember him scoring the winner against Man City at home.
Yeah,
and obviously the playoff semi-finals against Cardiff. But yeah, I feel sorry for him. I do feel sorry for Jack Collinson, but
just goes to show.
I think he's going to go on. I think he's the under 18s coach or
he's doing his badges as well at the moment, so.
And I see him doing a bit of TV pundit the other day, so that might be something to go into as well. But no, good luck to him. It's a shame. It just reminds me of the Dean Ashton situation.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
A player's career that's taken away from not by their own fault. It's just injuries, and
that's it.
I mean, think of how many Dean Ashton could have had for us.
Dean Ashton, for me, wouldn't have stayed at West Ham because he would have gone on to the very top.
We would have had a very nice balance.
And I tell you something now, if Dean Ashton would have been fully fit, England would have a World Cup or a Euros in their cabinet, without a doubt. Because he would have been the main man. He was our Alan Shearer of our era. Believe me, he was that good. I've never seen a player. If I could have one player come back for West Ham now in this squad, fully fit, I would put Dean Ashton all day long.
Yeah, Dean Ashton was going on to be one of the greatest.
Yeah, Dean Ashton. I mean, if Dean Ashton would have been coming through now, I wouldn't have thought we'd sell him. But back then, we would have took a big bid because Man United would have come in through, or City didn't have the money back then.
Chelsea,
Chelsea, or United, or someone.
You go back to when we played Man United. You know, scoring that goal against Rio Ferdinand when Rio Ferdinand was one of the best defenders in the world.
United fans clapped him.
Yeah, and you know, I totally agree with you. Ashton was, for me, had the full package.
Yeah, and I'm telling you now, England would have gone on to win either a Euros or a World Cup with him in, without a doubt. In my opinion, he was that good. He's one of the best strikers I've seen when he was fully fit. Him and Craig Bellamy at that time, when they played together, unstoppable. It's just a shame they both had injuries.
For me, Dean Ashton was the next Alan Shearer for England.
Without a doubt, he had everything. I'll tell you what, it's a lot to say. I think he would have been better than Alan Shearer because he had more. Alan Shearer wasn't. Ashton had skill as well as being big, powerful. Yeah. He had skill. Shearer was just bang it and score, header and score, but Ashton had that little bit more. Listen, I'm not knocking Shearer. I love Shearer.
No, Shearer's done it,
but that's how much I think highly of Dean Ashton.
I totally agree.
And every player that's played with him, if you watch Fantasy Football Club, he will be there on their team. Yeah. When they pick their best 1 to 11, he is 9 times out of 10 on their sheet. And he was that good. And it's a shame. But Jack Collinson, I feel sorry for him. Hopefully we'll see him more at West Ham this season.
Yeah, I think he's turning out for Noble's Noble's
it's
game,
shame,
so that'd be good.
Good luck, Jack.
Yeah, good luck, Jack.
Good luck, Jack.
And
another thing, Pint.
Yeah, I was about to say Dimitri Payet, new deal.
5.5 year deal.
Yeah, I think
that's the key.
You see my video, our massive news.
It was massive.
massive news. But no, listen, that just shows. I mean, a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's using the club. He's forced." He didn't force a pay rise.
No, because Sullivan come out and turned around and said, when it was done and dusted, he said, we're looking at other players' contracts to reward them for how we do.
He did the same with Sacco last season, Christmas time, I think it was. Remember, he said Sacco was banging the goals. He went, right, I'm going to reward him, new contract.
Exactly.
That's what Sullivan does.
And the thing is, with a lot of people saying, "Oh, Payet wanted 125 grand a week," he's not on 125 grand a week. And I bet I don't know his contract when he signed. He was probably only on about 30 grand a week because you think Chekiate is only on 15 grand a week.
Yeah. I think
he's getting a new deal now.
Yeah, he's getting a new deal.
But that's what I like about this deal is a lot of the extra pay is appearances, right? So he gets paid. If he don't play, he don't get the extra money.
I'll tell you what this deal proves is that we're not a selling club no more, and we're going in the right direction.
Of course we are.
Because let me tell you, like I said the other day on my video, if 3 years ago, Payet would have been out the door.
Yeah, they took money in.
And for any player that we're linked with, or any big player looking at our club, will look at that and think, Payet's just signed a new deal. I want to go there.
That's the place to be. So
that's the place to be.
We're building.
You got Lanzini deal looks like it's going to get done. You got Chekiate going to get tied down on a 4-year deal. You just signed Sam Byram. You got Creswell on a long-term contract. You know what I mean? It's
signing stopgaps,
and this is exciting times for West Ham, and I can't wait. And the future, I mean, we know the West Ham way. We're not used to it. This is why I was doing a video the other day. I'm not used to. You do things saying, "Oh, I can't believe he's gone. He's left us," but you're not used to doing it. And usually with West Ham, it all goes tits up or things don't go our way. But it just seems it is going our way now.
And the thing is as well, getting him tied down to that 5.5 year deal kicks away some of the bigger sides.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
because they're not going to be interested in paying that massive fee to get him out.
And do you know what as well? We haven't said it yet, but it just proves to me how much Payet loves the club.
Yeah.
And it showed that the other night when he scored, when he set up the set up the winner for Ogbonna. Every single player ran over to him, including the subs. And Noble was the first one on him and the last one off. Because they love him. The fans love him. He loves the club. What more can you want? Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, exactly. And full credit to the chairman for getting him in the first place and then tying him down like that.
Right, we've got 2 minutes. We're done. There's no more news, is there? Nothing to talk about. Done. Happy with the point?
Yeah.
Quick predictions for Blackburn.
2-1 win.
3-1.
I'm going to say 3-0. They ain't got their striker. 3-0.
2-0.
2-0. Right. Yeah. So that's it. That's it for post-match pint. Me hosting. I'm done.
Going out on a high.
Well done.
I'm done.
Blind.
I'm
done. But yeah. So it's been good. Like, thank you to you boys for pitching in. Dan with the editing and in front of the camera today.
Yeah.
Big nice. Thank you to Stacey Little, Jay Hammer and Talk, and Dom for coming on. And it's been It's been good, isn't it? We've enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the main man, Big Nicky's back for post-match pint Blackburn.
He's coming back.
So yeah, we're looking forward to having him back. I think we've all missed him.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Graham certainly has.
I missed him. I have missed him.
But listen, we'll leave it there because we've dragged on a bit today. But no, thank you so much for your help and.
That's right, mate.
No.
Thank you.
And yeah, let's just raise our glasses to Ryan. Well done, mate. You've done a blinding job, mate.
I've had a good record. 2 wins, a draw and a loss. I feel like Trevor Brooking.
No, you've done well, mate. You've done well.
You've done a blinder, mate.
If we lose to Blackburn on Nicky's first game, he's out.
He's out.
Yeah,
His fault.
But listen, comment below on whatever Norwich game, Blackburn game, thoughts for the game, whatever, predictions, whatever. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share all our stuff. I sound like Jay Hammer and talk now.
Share it.
Listen, subscribe to the channel. Our subscribers have flown up the last few weeks. I think we've got over like 200 odd in the last.
Yeah.
And it's massive. So yeah, just comment below. Give us your thoughts on this show. Give us your thoughts on Blackburn. Predictions. Give us your thoughts on me hosting.
Thoughts on Norwich.
Don't upset Nicky too much. Give us your thoughts on Nicky coming back.
Yeah.
Are you happy to see him? If you're not happy, tell him. Let him know. Fuck him. Oh, we love him really. I can't wait to do that. And yeah, don't forget subscribe to our channel, share our stuff, retweet it. Share it on Facebook. Let's spread the word. Yeah, thumbs up. If you put a thumbs down, let us know why.
Yeah.
I hate that when you get a thumbs down and you don't know why. If you don't like the show, fuck off. No, if you don't like it or we do something that you don't like, let us know because we always want to improve.
And we do the show. We do the show for the fans, don't we?
Yeah.
But now we said that, don't nitpick, right? Don't say that Ryan didn't comb his hair properly or something like that.
I know they're bullshitting.
Ryan always combs his hair properly.
3 hours. If they said it about you, I'd be worried. But listen, we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/West Ham Fan TV. Twitter
@West Ham Fan TV.
I love this bit. Website
www.westhamfan.tv.
Instagram
West Ham Fan TV.
Yeah. we're on everything. Just type in West Ham Fan TV. Google Scott. You want to?
What about this Periscope lark?
Yeah, we're on Periscope as well, but we don't really do that anymore.
I've done one for ages.
No. Yeah, once it out my data, I used to go around periscoping everything, and then when I had no data left, I thought, fuck this.
Killed me data.
Yeah. But no, listen, thank you so much for joining us today or tomorrow when this goes up, whenever it goes up, whenever Dan gets it up.
Whenever I can be asked.
We hope you enjoy the show. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. And yeah, big thank you to Stacey Little, Jay from Hammer and Talk, and Dom for joining us. Thanks for Dan for coming all the way from behind the camera to sit with us today. And yeah, we'll leave it there, yeah?
Leave it there, mate.
So, go on, Grace, say them famous words.
You can't put fourth place in the cabinet.
The other ones.
How many ones?
No. Is that anyone there to the show?
Is it new?
Say it.
Should we end it the normal way?
Yeah.
Come on, you eyes.